It started with a lost Amazon package. Nothing expensive, just a book I had been waiting to read for months. A thriller about a detective solving a cold case. Ironic, looking back. I figured it was a delivery mistake. It happens, especially during the holidays. The mail carriers are overworked. The trucks are overloaded. Packages get misrouted. I called Amazon. They sent a replacement. No questions asked, no fuss. I thought that was the end of it. Then another package went missing. This time a gift for my sister. A personalized mug with a photo of my dog on it. She had ordered it weeks in advance. It was supposed to be a surprise. The surprise was on us. The mug never arrived. I checked with the neighbors. No one had seen it. I checked with the front office. No packages were being held. The tracking said delivered, but there was nothing on my porch. Then a third package, a set of tools I needed for a project. Then a fourth, a winter coat for my wife. Then a fifth, a box of snacks from a subscription service. Something was wrong. Someone was stealing from me. I live in Meadowbrook Estates, a quiet HOA neighborhood in suburban Texas, the kind of place where people wave at each other, the kind of place where kids play in the street until the streetlights come on, the kind of place where you leave your doors unlocked during the day, or at least you used to. The HOA had rules about everything: grass height, fence colors, trash can placement, holiday decorations. The board ran the neighborhood like a small fiefdom, and at the head of the board was the HOA president, a woman named Karen Pritchett. She was in her mid-50s, blonde hair, always wore HOA logo clothing, navy blue polo shirts with the Meadowbrook Estates emblem, white sneakers with a tiny HOA logo on the heel. She drove a white SUV and had a permanent scowl. She had been the HOA president for 8 years. She ran the board like a dictatorship. Her word was law. She fined people for grass being a quarter-inch too tall. She complained about fence colors being aesthetically non-compliant. She wrote passive-aggressive notes about trash cans being visible from the street. She once cited a neighbor for having the wrong shade of white on their window trim. Everyone was afraid of her. No one challenged her. She had the power, and she enjoyed using it. Board meetings were held in her living room. She handpicked the other board members. She never lost a vote. If someone disagreed with her, she bullied them into silence. If someone complained about her, she fines them into submission. She was the neighborhood Karen, and she was about to get caught. I checked the tracking on the missing packages. All of them said delivered. All of them vanished between my doorstep and my front door. Someone was taking them. Someone was watching for deliveries. Someone was stealing from me and my neighbors. I decided to install a security camera. I bought one online, a simple model with night vision and motion detection. Not expensive, not fancy, just enough to see who was walking up my driveway at odd hours. I mounted it above my front door, hidden in the eaves of the porch. The camera faced the doorstep. It covered the entire area where packages were left. I tested it. The camera was clear, the night vision worked, the motion alerts went to my phone. Now I just had to wait. The first few days were uneventful. The camera captured mail carriers dropping off packages. It captured neighbors walking their dogs. It captured kids riding their bikes. Nothing suspicious. Then, on the fourth night, I got an alert. 3 a.m. Motion detected on my porch. I opened the app. The footage was green and grainy, the way night vision always looks. A figure was walking up my driveway. The person was wearing a hoodie, but the hood slipped. Blonde hair spilled out. A navy blue collar was visible beneath the hoodie. Distinctive white sneakers with a logo on the heel. The person bent down, picked up a package, looked around nervously, and walked away. I rewound the footage. I watched it again. Then I called my wife over. "Honey, come look at this." She watched the footage. Her eyes narrowed. "Those are Karen's shoes," she said. "She wears those to every HOA meeting. The white ones with the little logo. I've seen them 100 times. I zoomed in on the sneakers. The logo was small, but it was there. The Meadowbrook Estates HOA emblem. No one else in the neighborhood had those shoes. My HOA president was stealing my packages. I started digging into Karen's history. I talked to neighbors. I asked around. What I found was disturbing. Karen had been cited for theft twice before. Once at her previous job, where she was fired for stealing office supplies. Once at a local charity, where she was banned for taking donations for herself. But both incidents had been swept under the rug. She had money, she had connections, she had friends in low places. She had never faced real consequences. Until now. I also learned that other neighbors had been missing packages. Dozens of them. Over years. No one had ever connected the dots. No one had ever suspected the HOA president. She was too visible, too powerful, too obvious. But the camera doesn't lie. The footage was clear. The evidence was undeniable. I should have called the police. That would have been the responsible thing to do. That would have been the adult thing to do. That would have been the right thing to do. But I didn't. I wanted something more satisfying. I wanted her to know she had been caught. I wanted her to feel embarrassed. I wanted her to regret every package she had stolen. I wanted a trap. My wife thought I was crazy. Just call the cops, she said. Let them handle it. It's not worth the trouble. But I couldn't let it go. Karen had been stealing from me. She had been stealing from my neighbors. She had been abusing her power for years. She needed to be humiliated. She needed to be exposed. She needed to pay. I decided to build a decoy package. I ordered a decoy package from Amazon. Just a box, nothing expensive inside. But I modified it. I bought a glitter bomb kit online, a small device that explodes when the package is opened. The kit came with a spring, a sensor, and a petrifying flare. I added a twist. Instead of just glitter, I added bright blue dye, permanent blue dye, the kind that doesn't wash off for days, the kind that stains skin and fabric and upholstery. I also added a GPS tracker, a small device that sends location data to my phone. I wanted to know where she took the packages. I wanted to see if she was keeping them or throwing them away. I assembled the trap in my garage, the springs, the glitter, the dye, the GPS tracker. I tested the mechanism 3 times. Each time it worked perfectly. Blue dye and glitter exploded everywhere. My garage looked like a Smurf had a party. I sealed the box. I wrapped it in brown paper. I addressed it to myself. I placed it on my porch. Then I waited. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my living room with the lights off, watching the security camera feed on my laptop. The GPS tracker app was open on my phone. My heart was pounding. My palms were sweaty. I felt like a kid on Christmas Eve, waiting for Santa. The hours passed. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. At 2:47 a.m., I saw movement on the camera, a figure walking down the sidewalk. The same hoodie, the same white sneakers, the same blonde hair peeking out. Karen Pritchett, HOA president and package thief, approaching my porch. I watched on the camera as she walked up my driveway. She moved quickly, confidently. She had done this before. She looked around nervously, but she didn't see the camera hidden in the eaves. She bent down and picked up the decoy package. She smiled, a smug, entitled smile, the smile of someone who thought they were untouchable. She tucked the package under her arm and walked back to her white SUV parked at the curb. She opened the door. She got in. The dome light came on. She closed the door. The GPS tracker showed her cart sitting in front of my house. She hadn't driven away yet. She was opening the package, right there, in her car, in front of my house. The security camera caught everything. The package opened, the spring released, the glitter bomb exploded, blue dye sprayed everywhere, inside the car, on the seats, on the dashboard, on the steering wheel, and on Karen. Her face was covered in blue. Her hair was streaked with blue. Her HOA polo shirt was stained blue. Her white sneakers turned blue. Her hands looked like they had been working with indigo for days. The camera captured her scream. It captured her trying to wipe the dye off her face with her blue hands, making it worse, spreading it around. It captured her panicking, fumbling with the steering wheel, trying to drive away. The GPS tracker showed her car speeding off 3 minutes later. The GPS dot moved erratically, waving down the street, turning corners too fast. I watched the footage 10 times. Then I saved it. Then I made copies. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I was too wired, too excited. I watched the footage over and over. I couldn't believe it had worked. The next morning I checked the HOA community Facebook page. Karen had posted something at 4 a.m. Someone vandalized my car last night. Blue dye everywhere. Has anyone seen anything suspicious? I laughed out loud. She was playing the victim. She had no idea I had the whole thing on camera. I waited. I let her stew. That evening I posted the video on the HOA community Facebook page, the one Karen moderated, the one she thought she controlled. I wrote a simple caption. My HOA president has been stealing my packages for months. Here's the proof. This video was captured by my security camera at 3 a.m. The person in the video is Karen Pritchett. You can see her face. You can see her HOA shirt. You can see her HOA sneakers. The blue dye was part of a decoy package I set up to catch the thief. Within an hour, the video had 500 shares. Within 3 hours, it had 10,000 views. Within a day, it was on local news. Within a week, it had 5 million views. The comments poured in. She stole my packages too. I knew it was her. Those are her shoes. She fined me for my grass while stealing my mail. I recognized her HOA shirt immediately. Blue never looked so good on a Karen. The pattern emerged. Karen had been stealing from neighbors for years. Dozens of people, hundreds of packages, thousands of dollars. She wasn't just a thief. She was a serial thief. And she had been hiding in plain sight. Karen tried to delete the video, but she couldn't. The post had been shared too many times. It was on YouTube, it was on Twitter, it was on Instagram, it was everywhere. She tried to claim the video was fake. She said it was AI generated. She said someone had hacked her account. She said she was the victim. No one believed her. Neighbors started coming forward with their own stuff. The Johnsons across the street had been missing packages for 2 years. The Garcias next door had lost a birthday gift for their daughter. The Chens at the end of the block had filed police reports that went nowhere. The HOA had emergency meeting. Karen did not attend. She was too busy trying to wash blue dye off her face. It wasn't working. The blue dye was permanent. She would be blue for days. The board voted unanimously to accept Karen's resignation. They had no choice. The evidence was overwhelming. The video was undeniable. The public humiliation was complete. A new HOA president was elected, a woman named Linda. She was kind. She was fair. She was not a thief.
She had lived in the neighborhood for 20 years. She had watched Karen bully people. She had been afraid to speak up. Now she didn't have to. The first thing Linda did was apologize to the community. The second thing she did was review every fine Karen had issued. Many were overturned. Refunds were issued. The HOA was reformed. I attend the meetings sometimes. I sit in the back. I listen. I nod. Max doesn't come anymore. He passed away last year, but I feel him with me. I still have the security camera. It still watches my porch. It still sends alerts to my phone. It has not caught any more package thieves. The neighborhood is safer now. People have cameras. People have lights. People have each other. The HOA has lit a community package locker at the entrance of the neighborhood. All packages are delivered there now. No more porch theft. No more missing deliveries. No more Karens. The camera is still there though. A reminder. A witness. A sentinel. Here's what I learned from all this. First, security cameras are worth every penny. Without that camera, I would have never known who was stealing my packages. Without that camera, the HOA would have never believed me. Without that camera, Karen would still be stealing. A simple device, a few $100s, a lifetime of evidence. Second, sometimes the best revenge is creative. I could have called the police. I could have let the law handle it, but I wanted something more. I wanted her to feel embarrassed. I wanted her to regret what she had done. I wanted her to remember the blue dye every time she looked in the mirror. Third, communities are stronger when they work together. After the video went viral, neighbors started sharing their own stories. People who had been afraid to speak up finally found their voices. Karen had been bullying the neighborhood for years. The video broke her power. The community healed. Fourth, don't let fear stop you. I was scared to confront Karen. She was the HOA president. She had power. She had influence. She had been bullying people for years, but I didn't let fear stop me. I stood up to her. I fought back. I won. Fifth, the truth always comes out. Karen thought she could steal forever. She thought no one would notice.